But there's a lot at stake right now. A lot of people feel as though this administration kind of just makes its own rules. Its own rules doesn't even regard, hey, the Supreme Court on anything, which brings us to this next story. Because if you recall, quite recently, the Supreme Court came out and said you cannot use race as one of the things or one of the criteria for admissions, college admissions, because sort of inherently by using race as one of the factors that you look at, well, that's inherently discriminatory in and of itself because race shouldn't matter, right? Period. Well, the Biden Department of Education and the Biden administration, they don't like that so much. And so they've come out with a quote unquote clarification. I want to share this with you. This just came out today. And Biden Department of Education is saying the institutions of higher education remain free to consider any quality or characteristic of a student that bears on the institution's admission decision, even if the student's application ties that characteristic to their lived experience with specifically race. So that's the workaround for you, everyone. Just so you know, there's a workaround according to Joe Biden and his team. We got it. And you can still use race as an issue. I mean, it's a pretty blatant sort of FU, right, to the Supreme Court. The Supreme Court said, you can't use race. You can use other, look, you do need, I would say, a student body that's interesting, a student body that is diverse intellectually, diverse economically, diverse in terms of where people are from geographically. But when you start saying, okay, if you're this color, you go in one pile, and if you're this color, you go in another, that's when you actually start to run into real problems. So it'll be interesting to see how this one unfolds. I think the colleges have their work cut out for them, but the administration is trying to say, hey, you know what, we can do this anyway, just like we can do our student loan thing anyway, right? I don't think so, guys. The Supreme Court struck that one too, and yet you're going back and back and back. That's the mark of a banana republic, if you ask me. Hey everyone, Trish Regan here. If you enjoyed that clip, please do me the favor of subscribing to the channel. Just hit that little subscribe button right over there. Did I do that right? Not quite, but you know where it is. Subscribe to the channel, hit the bell so that you get the alerts, and I'll see you back on the show.